Good morning, everybody. Good to see you all today. I'm going to invite you all to take a deep breath. Let's get started here. Day 21 of Core Prosperity Relief. Just take a deep breath and get settled right where you are. I want you to recognize in this moment that you have this powerful thing called a mind, and that what's going on in your mind right now is how your day, your week, your month, your life is going to unfold. Today's thoughts are tomorrow's experiences. So I invite you to just clear your mind. Get rid of anything you think you have to do, and go ahead and allow something bigger than yourself to step in and shine a light right there where you are. Because what I know is that everything that needs to be known here today is known, that there is a clarity that comes through here today that is so clear, so bright, that everything that is necessary to move me into this next level of living comes through clearly, powerfully, succinctly. And I'm grateful to know this. I just let it be so, and so it is. Now I'm going to invite you to take another deep breath, just a big deep breath. So I want to talk today about the word truth. It gets thrown around a lot. Truth is powerful. Truth, it's active. Truth is energy. And it's right there at your beck and call. But you got to get clear on what truth is. What are we talking about when we say truth? It creates life, this thing in you, the energetic flow of truth creates life inside of you. And whatever your truth is, that's what's doing the creating. So truth is an energy. There is an unquestionable, undeniable truth at the center of everything. But what is it? How does your mind deal with it? How does your mind find it in the first place? And more importantly, what's the difference between the truth and your truth? What's the difference between the thing that we say, this is the truth, and Susan's truth, or Andrea's truth, or Nancy's truth? Is there a truth that is unquestionable? When I say that prosperity is a verb, and prosperity is the very birthright of who you are and what you are, is that the truth? Well, I believe that is an empirical truth. That is an unquestionable truth. But is it your truth? And frankly, at the end of the day, which truth is going to win out? Which truth is running the show? Because sometimes my truth and the truth are in conflict. And then comes this question. If my truth and the truth are in conflict, which one do you think really wins at the end of the day? Well, scientists will tell you and psychologists will tell you that your truth is going to win at the end of the day. Whatever truth you have maintained, believed in. And now we're talking about core beliefs, because truth, the energy of truth, is what creates these core beliefs. So the work you're doing in mind, the truths you are filling yourself with, and your own beliefs are all in there, working sometimes with each other, for each other, and sometimes against each other. As Albert Einstein said, the world we've created is a product of our own thinking. So it's your use of mind that actually creates the world you live in, not the world out there that creates you. Sometimes it happens that way, and that's called secondary causation. When you let the world create within you. We're not really made that way. We're made to be creative beings. But secondary causation means I look at the world and believe things based on what I'm seeing, as opposed to I feel and know the truth, and I create my world based on that, no matter what. So he says the world we've created is a product of our thinking. It cannot be changed without changing our thinking. But you cannot change your thinking until you change your beliefs. I mean, it really is as simple as that. You cannot change your thinking until you change your beliefs. The question is, what are you going to change it into? Because guess what? you're not going to really be able to change your beliefs and your truth into the truth when your mind still has a lot of stuff going on inside of it, contradicting you, arguing with you, proving to you that you very well might be wrong. And that brings me to the work you did yesterday, the affirmations that you wrote. They were great, by the way. I loved reading them all. But those affirmations, were they just words or were they spiritual truths? And if they were spiritual truths, how did they work for you as you used them all day long? Did you notice your mind arguing against them, perhaps? Did you notice yourself looking back? I love Marilee. I love you, Marilee. You're just going, no, I said them, I meant them, I believe them, and so it is. That's what we need. We absolutely need that. But maybe some of us, clearly, had trouble yesterday reading some of the blogs, finding the time even to get the affirmations done. And there's something. There's a belief inside of many of us. I don't have the time for spiritual work. Someone just said that to me recently. I wish I had the time for spiritual work. And I looked at this person and I was like, actually, I was kind of miffed because this was somebody I was surprised to hear that said, I don't have time for spiritual work. I said, but if you don't have time for the spiritual work, if you don't have time for the truth, then what's happening with your life? And this person's not having a good go of it. And because he's not having a good go of it, his focus was on what's out there to fix. And what we have to get clear on is, you want to be prosperous? You have to be prosperous. In your heart, in your soul, in your mind, you must come to the conviction that prosperity is an energetic flow that is who you are, and that the rest of it literally is just a show that's being put on. So if you didn't find time to do your affirmations yesterday, every hour, and really fill your mind all day, it's not a problem. Don't worry about it. But it does tell you, it tells you one of two things. A, you need to find more time to take care of yourself. You need to make you your number one priority. And that doesn't mean everybody else goes by the wayside. It means you make yourself your number one priority and you watch how everybody else benefits from that. So that's number one. Number two, you need to know how to incorporate you into your busy schedule. How do you make time for you in this life that you've created for yourself that may not be a life that's based on truth? It may be based on your truths and things you've convinced yourself into believing. So affirmations, like the ones that we used yesterday, they become fuel for our minds. When you put that kind of energy into your mind, it's like putting high octane gas into your mind, into your car. We just run better when we are filled with better gas. We run better when we are filled with truth that is unarguable. So what would your mind do if it only heard that sort of thing? I was in a conversation last night and I got very quiet, which, as most of you know, was shocking. But I got quiet. I kind of pulled myself out of the discussion because what I was hearing was all this negative stuff. There is no such thing as truth and facts. And it was all about politics. And I just started thinking to myself, I am sitting at dinner and my mind is being fueled with a lot of crap and a lot of disdain, a lot of arguments, a lot of negativity, a lot of darkness, a lot of the world's going to fall apart. I mean, it was really, and I just sat there. It was a lovely dinner, by the way. The food was lovely. So I just started focusing on the food and I thought about y'all. I was like, oh my God, I have like 45 people spending the day putting all this good into themselves. And I am sitting at the Exodus dinner. And I was like, wow, how did I create this in my life? And I really got it. I went, no. If you can't put the thoughts into your mind in that situation, what good are you? What good is it? That's the whole point of this. Filling your mind. And so I re-entered the conversation with my beliefs. I was called a Pollyanna. I was told that I live in a la-la world. And I was okay with that. And these are people that actually think of me as their spiritual leader, which was shocking. And I thought, well, okay, you can all think that, but I am going to sit here and know the truth. I'm going to sit here and not buy into. So that's one of the questions I wanted to ask you this morning. What are you buying into? How about this affirmation for you? I take ownership of my life no matter what. I take ownership of my life no matter what. No one should ever have the right or the capacity or the power to take over your mind. No one, no thing. No matter what's going on, you should be able to sit even in the midst of hell and see heaven and know heaven. It's a tall order, but you know what? We can do it. Yesterday I said prosperity is a calling. And most importantly, yesterday I said don't let it go to voicemail. So way too often, we think that it's okay to let things go on. It's okay to sit there and listen to all of that. And I really did have to take a moment. But the moment passed and I was like, well, I can enter this. I need to enter this conversation. I also had a conversation yesterday with my West Side Story cast from 40 years ago. They do this little Zoom thing now. And I'm sitting on it. And one of the jets, one of the ex-jets, not ex, I guess when you're a jet all the way. So one of the jets started going into QAnon conspiracy theories. And I was like, oh no, do I have to go in there and start correcting all of this? And I thought, probably if I let it alone, someone's going to argue this. But then I had to think about it. What is truth? Do I have a right to say that's not the truth? Because it's your truth. It's just not my truth. But what is the truth? And that's what you and I are in the process of working on here. Getting so clear, it's not about the relative truth. It's not about your truth and my truth. It's about the truth. What is the truth? So, you just can't let your life roll along and let other people start taking ownership of your mind. You see, a mind that keeps telling itself other people are more powerful, or a mind that even keeps telling itself that it's too busy, stays busy. Think about that. A mind that keeps telling itself it's too busy for spirituality or to know the truth or to do this work stays too busy. So yesterday you were all asked to do something to yourselves by telling yourselves the truth. Affirmations that you wrote are the truth. Those are the truth. And it may not be your truth right now. It may not be the truth of your life, but it is the truths of life. So how do you move from my truth to the truth? Very important question. Here's an affirmation I want you to think about. Everything that is happening right now is happening for my ultimate good. Now I want you to look at your life. Everything that is happening right now is happening for my ultimate good. Is that the truth of your life? Do you absolutely know that that is the truth of your life? I believe that is an inarguable truth. However, it's not if you see something in your life and say, well, that's not my ultimate good, obviously. Everything in my life that is happening right now is happening for my ultimate good. To me, that's spiritual logic. And to me, that is the truth. But again, if it's not your truth, what does that mean? On one of the C.P.Rs, somebody wrote on this particular day, somebody wrote an affirmation was, everything I touch is a success. And I kind of played with this person and I said, everything you touch is a success? I was like, yeah, that was my affirmation. I said, I know that's your affirmation. But is everything you touch a success, Diane Kerman? Is every project you touch a success? See, is every project successful? If you didn't win the Emmy last night, are you a success? By the way, I got a lot of thank yous last night for winning the Emmy when Billy Crudup won, and everybody just said it was you that won because he looked so much like me. If any of you noticed that last night, I had to laugh. My phone is like banging, and I'm going, what? Congratulations on your Emmy. I was like, people are crazy. And then I went, oh, Billy Crudup, got it. Everything in your life is a success. Everything I touch is a success. Well, here's the deal. Lovely affirmation. Works great if you actually believe it. And was everything a success in your life, Gail, all the way up to this point? Or can you argue that some of them weren't? So the spiritual logic here, the spiritual truth here is, yeah, everything I touch is a success. In one way or another, it is all moving me to my ultimate good. There you go. I just put two of them together. So basically, it depends on your idea of success. At the end of the day, what is your idea of success? What is your idea of prosperity? I loved reading everybody's affirmations yesterday. I really did. And I love how every single one of them said something to me. That's how truth works. When you hear it, no matter how you hear it, even in someone else's words, when you know the truth, it pretty much works across the board because truth is universal. Emma Curtis Hopkins, she wrote, "The main thing to do for a demonstration is to notice what sentences work quickly in your behalf and use them." She says they have revealing power and will quickly put you on track of the right line of thinking. So revealing power. So one of the things I want to ask you today is this. What's being revealed to you? What reveals your power? What do you have to say to yourself for you to really tap into the power you have inside? What sort of things? I guarantee you they're not things like, oh, I could have done that better. Why did these things happen to me? They're not actually bringing the power out of you, right? So what sort of things do you have to tell yourself? They're the type of affirmations you need to write. Not just pretty words that sound good. What do you need to tell yourself so that your power gets released? So here's what I want you to do today. Shakespeare wrote this. He said, "There is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so." So what is your thinking making so in your life? I started this morning with a question of whether or not you have the time to do this work, whether your mind is actually focusing on the truth or your truth. And I'm going to close today's session with a challenge to you. And the challenge is that you really don't have the time not to take the time to infuse your mind with truth all day long. And today, especially today, I want you to be aware of contradictory thinking. Where are you contradicting yourself? It's kind of like a mixed message, but it's more of an active argument. Like, where do you contradict yourself? Where do you say one thing and contradict yourself in the next breath? So I want you to write 3 more affirmations out today and give this 100% of your attention. But this time, not just an affirmation. What do you need to say to yourself to unleash the power? Really think about it. What do I need to tell myself that literally taps into something in me that says, yeah, that is the truth? And I even get teary-eyed when I think of this. Here's one of mine. You can do whatever you decide to do, James. I know that. I know how talented I am. I know how powerful I am. I know what I'm capable of creating. Do I always do it? No, I don't. Sometimes the contradictory line of, oh, you don't really have time for that. Do you really want to focus your attention on that? Well, you know what? I can do whatever I decide to do. And then another voice comes in and says, then decide to do something. So that's how this works today. Find 3 things. 3, we'll call them affirmations, but really they're just empowering sentences to yourself that literally open you up in such a way that you literally start feeling the power pour out of yourself. Set that alarm every single hour. Do the work. Because here's the deal. If you do the work, you will live the results. So have a great day, everyone. Talk to you tomorrow. Namaste.